Buried somewhere in our DNA, and probably in yours too, is genetic material from a human species that no scientist has ever physically seen. No skull, no skeleton, not a single tooth. Researchers discovered it the way you might realize something is off in a relationship, not because of anything they saw directly, but because the numbers stopped making sense. We already knew that Neanderthals and Denisovans had interbred with modern humans. In 2020, UCLA researchers compared the genomes of more than 400 West Africans, Yoruba, Isan, Mende, and Gambian people, against known Neanderthal and Denisovan DNA, expecting to confirm the familiar story. The DNA matched neither group, which leaves two possibilities. Something was wrong with the equipment, or humanity has been carrying a forgotten contributor in its genetic record for 500,000 years, one nobody remembers encountering. It is a bit like tearing out a wall during a renovation and finding blueprints for a room that no longer exists, except the blueprints are your genome, and that missing room has apparently been holding up the structure for 500,000 years. Most people assume ancient human interbreeding was a Europe and Asia story, Neanderthals, cold caves, Ice Age drama. But these West African populations carry between 2 and 19% of their ancestry from an entirely separate archaic group, one that branched off before Neanderthals and modern humans even diverged from each other. That is not a rounding error. For some individuals, nearly 1 in 5 pieces of their ancestry traces back not to us, not to Neanderthals, not to Denisovans, but to a population that science cannot yet put a face to. It is like discovering that one of your grandparents was never who the family claimed, except there is no photograph, no name, no grave, just the receipts. Some of the DNA inherited from this ghost population influences things like tumor suppression and hormone regulation. These are genes that likely spread quickly through populations because they were genuinely useful. And this is not outdated textbook material. The evidence for archaic introgression in African populations has only grown stronger as more genomes get sequenced. This unknown group did not just leave a faint genetic trace. It may have passed down survival tools that are still functioning inside people today, more than 100,000 years later. An extinct species you have never heard of quietly contributed what amounts to a software update to the human immune system. No documentation, no release notes. It simply works. So who were they? A new species? A relative of Homo erectus? Something that has not been named yet. The genetic data does point to a few things. This population split from everyone else somewhere between 360,000 and just over 1 million years ago. And the two lineages crossed paths again within the last 124,000 years. But a name? A skeleton? Nothing. There is no fossil to attach to any of this, just the math. And rather than guessing at an answer, it is worth sitting with that uncertainty for a moment. Here is what should give you pause. This is not some rare anomaly confined to one unusual family line. It is woven into entire populations, sitting in plain sight, giving no indication of its presence. The real question is not whether you carry DNA from a species we have never directly encountered. Statistically, you probably do. The question is, what else might be hiding in there, waiting for us to develop the tools to notice it? Leave a comment below. If scientists ever do find a fossil from this population, do you think it deserves a proper scientific name, or should it stay known simply as the ghost?